everyone, it's Suzanne. Today I'm going to be putting together an explosion box with the December kit from Aunty Vera Scrap and Craft. So this kit had the beautiful bow bunny Christmas paper in it. It's so beautiful. It also has a gorgeous stamp from Stamping Bella. Very cute. Cute little wooden flourishes from Kaiser Craft. All kinds of lovely. So this is kind of just a bit of a process slash tutorial. I'm going to show you how I put together this explosion box. So this one is going to be larger than usual. So it's going to be a 6x6 box. Okay, so it's quite large. And I've put lots of it together because it has taken me quite a while to get it all done. So let's go. I'll show you what I've done so far. So this... So these pieces here, this is 4 sheets of 12 by 12, 2 sheets of 12 by 12 cut in half. So it's a 6 by 12 scored at 6. So you need 4 of those, okay? And then I have done a decorative piece for the inside of the box and outside. So these are going to be on the inside. So the penguins, the candy cane, the bear and snowman, and the deer. These are the 4 from the outside. This is a cut apart. It was 4x6 cut apart. I've just cut the frame and made some flowers to go with. Another 4x6 cut apart, and I've just used some of my dies to mimic the snowflakes there. This is the reason I wanted to do this large box. So these 2 images are quite large, and I really wanted to have them together. So I've used the beautiful carousel horse and the deer, and because of the placement of the deer on the piece of paper, this side of it was quite blank, so I used my frontage to do a Christmas tree. So they're my inside and outside of the large box. This is going to be the lid. So I've got a bit of, I pulled apart a Christmas decoration. That's a store-bought, but I made this large rosette and then I glittered it up. That's going to go on the lid. Okay, so that's it for now. Let's start. So it's taken me, like I said, it's taken me quite a while to get this done because I really wanted to use a lot of this kit for this one project because I just loved the images on the paper. So sorry about that. I've marked these all, the side and the bottom. So what has to happen is that they have to cross over. Now, because this box is going to be so big, it needs lots of layers to keep it sturdy. Okay, so the bottom of the box will end up with 4 layers on it simply because, and it needs that to give it strength because it's quite large. And so the inside and outside decorations are layered as well. So I'll show you more of that when we get to that part, but each of the panels for the outside, sorry, I just need to make sure that's where it should be. I don't want to have gone to all this trouble for it not to be right. Each of the panels for the inside and outside are layered on some cardstock so that it gives more strength as well, and I'll show you that a little more closely in a moment. Just want to get these 4 sides. So again, these are just, it's 2 pieces of 12 by 12 cardstock cut down the center and scored at 6 inches, and then you need to get them done like this so that it's going to fold up like so. Okay, but as you can see, this is quite flimsy. Now you might be able to get more substantial cardstock, but I don't have any that I could use. So that's why these are layered on some cream cardstock. I don't know if you can see that. So there. So it's the lovely paper, but layered on some cardstock. So these squares here are 6 by 6. This cream cardstock layer is 5 7/8 of an inch, and the paper is 5 6/8 of an inch, so that it just leaves that tiny little border. And if you do that, then it's going to have 5 layers to give it strength. Okay, so let's get them on, and you have to be careful you're getting them up the right way, so you have to remember that's going to be up the right way. So let's get this beauty on. This one's, I just adore that image. It was a very difficult choice for me to figure out what I wanted to do with it. Oh gosh, sorry. Yeah, I wasn't sure whether to make a card with it, or, but I've gotten quite a fascination for these explosion boxes at the moment. I've gone a bit mad on them. So make sure your image is it's going to be up the right way, and pop it on. Another thing I had to be careful of is, oh gosh, that's up too high, is because the image is so large, I had to be careful that how I cut it, when I put the lid on it, it didn't chop his head off. I'll show you more. You'll understand when I put the lid on, because yeah, I have made an explosion box before where I've put an image on the side, and when I popped the lid on, it kind of spoilt it, because it very strangely chopped his head off, and it kind of looked a bit funny. It looked okay when the lid was off, but when the lid is on it, it looked really peculiar. It chopped its head off. So I tried to be a little bit aware of that for both the carousel horse picture and the deer. It was even harder because the deer picture is even bigger than the carousel, so it was quite tricky to get it. I did have to cut one of his hooves off to get him in the right spot, but I think I've got him okay. Alright, so that's 2 done, and already it feels so much stronger. So keep going around. So I want the 2 images opposite each other. So yeah, you can see here I've had to cut his hooves off to give me that inch down here so his head's not cut off when the lid goes on it. And I'm also going to show you how I made the lid. It's pretty simple, and I think I've showed you before, but I'll just explain again when I've got these on. I hope I'm using enough glue. Make sure your image is up the right way. Try and get it in the center of the box. Okay. Oops, I've got beaded up glue everywhere. Okay, so that's the 3rd side. Might be a bit skew. The reason I don't use double-sided tape is because you don't get that wiggle room that you do when you use wet glue. And oh boy, do I need wiggle room, especially when I'm rushing and doing something like I am with this. I'm just trying not to have the video go forever. But it's literally taken me days to get all of this organised enough to get it on here today. Okay, that's pretty good. So, and I'll also show you all the dies that I used. Maybe at the end I might put something at the end. Okay, so there our 4 sides I can show you. So that's what it should. So I know you can't see it all, but that's the outside. Now I'll put the inside on. Might go like so, I think. So remember, they're going to stand up. Make sure they're up the right way. Do this. So these dies, I hope it's alright to say, but they're all from that place that we should not speak of for whatever reason. I don't know, I don't get it. They are so very handy. They cut well, and they're just perfect as far as I'm concerned. I would have I have quite a few of them now, so there's one. Keep going. I have altered this one a bit. This one's kind of a I'll show you later, but it has strange looking foliage in the middle, and I ended up cutting it off because I wasn't very fond of how it looked when I was done with it. I cut it off and did my own thing with it. I think it looks much better than it did. Again, just check that you're up the right way. Love these too, they're so cute. These are really cute, the little penguins. I I have just I've just coloured, oh no, the penguins were easy, black and white. And then any other little pieces, I just cut the whole thing out, usually in white, and colour them. The deer and the bear, I just cut them out with craft cardstock and then give them a few highlights with some vintage photo, or you know, one of the brown ones. Nothing fancy. I don't do any fancy colouring in, I can tell you. That just is something that I'm not that great at. I have got some beautiful Prismacolor pencils and I do okay with them. And I've got some Copic pens, but I really don't have the knack for it, I don't think. And I'm going to keep trying, and there is a lovely lady who lives about an hour away from me who is a qualified Copics teacher, and I am going to go and she's going to show me how to use them, which will be a great relief to me. I've tried to watch lots of things online, and really all it does is confuse me more, because some people are doing one thing and somebody else is doing another thing. And when I try and do these things, it looks dreadful. So, yeah, I really want to try over the school holidays to get that into my... Alright, here we go. There's our box. Okay, now I'll show you the lid. I'll just pop this out the way so it doesn't get hammered. Here we go. This is the lid. So you remember the box is 6x6. This is really simple. If your box is 6x6, your lid needs to measure 6 1/8 of an inch across here, and then you need 1 inch and 1 inch for the side of your box. So this measures 8 1/8 of an inch by 8 1/8 of an inch. 8 1/8, 8 1/8, and then score at 1 inch all the way around and cut your little tabs. I'm just going to glue these tabs. Oh, no, I won't. Oh, it's much easier to do your side and lid panels while it's not all joined together. Obviously it's easier. Well, that's a tight squeeze, that one. So it's the same concept for any of the panels on the side. Just measure them a little bit smaller than what you have. So these panels that I'm doing here, because it's 1 inch wide, I just do 7/8 of an inch for that panel. Alright, I really hope that my lid is not going to be too heavy, but I wanted the top. I had this decoration and I really wanted to pull it apart and repurpose that flower part, so I'm hoping it's not too heavy, because the rosette is quite big, but I love it because it's pink and glittery. Who doesn't love that for Christmas? Alright, so there's the side panels all on. Now the top panel, so again it's just measured a little bit smaller than the top of the lid. That's all you have to do, just make it a little bit smaller. And if you've got a great trimmer, which I do not have, I've got half a dozen of them, none of which I use because I can never ever ever get a straight line. So I've cut all of this with, I've ruled it all with scissors, pencil and ruler, and it's all been cut with scissors because I just can never ever get a decent straight line. And I know that in our Aunty Vera group there was a great discussion about which trimmers were the best. So now that that's done, I'm going to glue my little tabs in. I should have used my quick dry glue for this, but that's okay. I'm not sure how long this is going to go for, but stick with me because at the end there's a little surprise for the middle of the box. Oops. Okay. So I hope everyone's all ready for Christmas. I so am not. I have not finished Christmas shopping. I'm absolutely so disorganized. I've just had a really busy time, and the first few days of school holidays I just did absolutely nothing. I was so lazy. Oh, I did crafting, but no work. Okay. Alright, so that's going on my lid, and I'm also going to put on some little deer around the edges. Okay. Just like so. I'm not sure whether to glue that down with the hot glue gun. I may do that, I think. But I'm going to leave that for now. Oh, I will. I'll leave that for now. And I just wanted to... I did a panel for the inside of the box. And obviously it had to be different paper because these 4 pieces are off one piece of paper. So once you've cut it into 6-inch squares, it's done. But that's okay. It doesn't all have to be exactly the same because the papers all match anyway. They're all from the one collection, so of course they match. Alright, pop that in the bottom. So, okay, so that's the outside box. I hope it's all going to stick down. Now, I have the second box, the inside box, and these are the pieces I've made. So I've got a ornament and a big snowflake. Here comes Santa and some cute little gingerbread. And these were from the cut apart page, and I've just arranged them in a bit of a collage. It says Jingle Bells, Happy Holidays, fa la 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 la, and that one says Cookies for Santa, and that's the bottom. And for the top, I stamped the Stamping Bella, and I just because the stamp is only like that high, I just put more snowflakes in. I also used, where's that pen? So I used this as in the kit as well, this Wink of Stella. And I have this very tricky little piece of equipment. So this pen fits in here like so. And I don't know if you can see this. I'll see if I can show you what it does. So if you do that, it sprays out what's in the pen. And I don't know if you can see the shimmer that I put over this page. So I've got that Wink of Stella all over that page like snow. So it turned out really pretty. I don't know if you can see it, but trust me, it worked beautifully. So let's get on with this one. It's the same deal as the other one. I was trying to find a rubber because I can really see some bad pencil lines there that I should have gotten rid of before now. Okay, that's okay. All right, let's do this. So again, I've marked them all for the bottom and the side panel, and again I've used some cream cardstock to add strength, because yeah, this card is not that strong. Okay. Right. Sorry, I'm just concentrating and find it a bit tricky to have a normal conversation while I'm trying to do something where everything's got to line up a bit. I'm sorry about that. All right, last one for the bottom. Alright, there we go. Get all the glue off my hands and flip it over. So, okay, so I decided I would use these images for the outside of the box. So remember, they all have to face down and in to be the right way, like so, so that when it stands up, it's up the right way. So this is a lot of work, a lot of cutting, and I agonize. My family think I'm an absolute nutter because I agonize over where everything should go, and I very stupidly ask them for advice, and mainly they just roll their eyes and say, yes, Mum, it looks good there. So I don't know why I continue to ask if it looks okay, but my son loves to tell me that it's crooked. You can't leave it like that, Mum, it's crooked. And if I tell him that that's how I meant it to be, he thinks that's hilarious. He doesn't get that I spend hours doing these things and then put something on crooked. He thinks that's just hilarious. He just doesn't get it. Alright. So, not much longer. Sorry guys, I hope you're still with me. Really wanted to thank all my subscribers. I've recently got quite a few new ones. I think I've got 50 something now. Woohoo! But I really appreciate it. It was really difficult for me to start doing something like this. I never done anything like this before, so I had to be talked into it by a certain lady that I'm sure most of you all know and watch her videos as well. But it's been fun. And I also need to thank our lovely Vera for having me on her creative team. It's been so fun. Something I thought I would probably never do. I've always just crafted for my own, just because it gives me peace, I suppose. Here, this is my bottom panel. Put it down first. I didn't probably tell you that I inked all the edges of the papers just to get that white edge off them. So most of them are just inked with some pink. Okay. Alright, and here are our sides. The little gingerbreads. Here comes Santa. The snowflake. Actually, let's swap those around. Like that, I think. Okay. Sorry, I hope that was on camera. So also in the kit were some cute little bottle brush treats, and I've used one of them for the little surprise that's going to go in this box. Okay, so we're not too far off now. I know it's a bit dull watching this, but hopefully you'll think it's worth it at the end. This tree, this kind of a primitive looking one, is also done with the hunter green Frontage. I wish my snowflakes stood out more. I should have done it on a darker cardstock, but it was just so pretty. I didn't want to do a different one, even though you can't see it very well. I just think it's pretty, so it's staying and it's pink and glittery and all of those good things. So if you can see them lifting and stuff, it's all good. I just really want to get this done and it will eventually stick. It's just taking a little while because it is quite thick, but like I said, it needs that thickness to give it stability because the cardstock is just not strong enough to just have it on its own. Alright, there we go. Here comes Santa. That needs to move over. How did I manage that? Boy, oh boy, that was a close thing. All right, so outside and inside. Now we need a lid. Okay, I'm just covered in glue. It's gross. Get these sides on really quickly and the top, and then I'll show you my little piece for the inside. It's really starting to warm up in Queensland. It's supposed to be 33 here today. Can't complain though, we've had just beautiful weather, really. Usually at this time of the year in Queensland we've had a couple of days that are like 40 or, you know, close to 40, but we've been incredibly lucky. Had just stunning weather. I hope it stays that way. I hope it stays nice and clear for the next little bit. I'm very fortunate to be going on a lovely cruise after Christmas that my beautiful family got for me for my 50th birthday. So my daughter organised it all. She's a little trooper. I had no idea. She's a very thoughtful girl. She's not a real touchy-feely kid, but she's got a heart of gold. And she's a real hard worker. Both my kids are hard workers. Certainly can't complain about them. They've been awesome, and at this time of the year you really appreciate really appreciate having a great family around you. I certainly do. Okay. I'm nearly done, folks. I'm so sorry this is just dragging on. And I've just got a text message to say my brother's hurt himself at work and I may have to go and get him. I'm not sure. Sorry, I just need to have a look what it says. All right. He's okay, so, and that's going to be the lid, which is the gorgeous Stamping Bella stamp. Oh, I should have put this on before I'm so silly, I'm not thinking. Doesn't matter. So that's the lid. Okay. Alright. Good enough. It'll stick down eventually, I'm hoping. Now I just want to show you what I made to go on the inside. So remembering this is our inside box and this is what I made. So I got, it's called a cloche and I just got it from Riot Art and Craft, and inside it you can see one of the trees that was in the kit from Aunty Vera, and the rest, so center here is an eraser, a rubber, and the rest are buttons. And I've also added some glitter, some snow glitter, and that's a cloche. So I think it's really cute and it fits inside my box, the inside box, perfectly. So you have to be like an octopus here, but I've gotten quite good at doing that. So there's one. Here's the next one. The bigger box goes in here. Get my octopus skills happening here. And two. And there you are. That's my finished project except for the lid, but I'll put some pictures of that at the end of the video. I'll just really quick go through these. These are the dies. I've got no idea what they're called. I got them at a D-stash, but I used two of the gingerbread. I used the stitched hills from Paper Roses. I used this to make the rosette, and it's a, I have no idea, a Nellie Snellen die. I used those to make the flowers, the Christmas tree. I used this one on the inside. I used that to know that little snowflake, and that one. I've used this tree, a Kaiser Craft snowflake, and some others from that place that we don't talk about. Okay, so that is it, lovelies. I really hope you liked it. Thanks for watching and have a great Christmas, everyone. Be safe and look after each other. Thank you. Bye. Here's just a few still photos for you to look at. Thanks.